Good day and welcome once again. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to generate content. I want this video to be more extensive than the one I have before now. Okay? So, in Amazon KDP, you are at liberty to write a book on any title at all that you want. But you don't want to write just anything that people are not gonna look into and they probably buy. Okay, so before you even start writing a book or creating a book, you have to, as a matter of importance, very, very important, you have to do what we call a keyword phrase research or a keyword phrase search to ascertain the search volume of that particular keyword phrase. That's the title you want to write on. I've done a video on that. When you watch the video will guide you on how to know when to write on this particular title or not. There's a video to that effect. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be doing something very practical. But I'll be choosing a title at random. So the title I'm going to use here may not be your, in fact, it will not be your own title because this is just for explanation sake. Just use it as a guiding tool to now make an informed decision. Because when you get your AI tool, the prompt you will write there is dependent on the title you are writing. Okay? It depends on the title, it depends on the kind of book you are creating. So the prompt is not always the same for every book title. Okay? So without wasting time, let me say I want to write a book on relationship, a book that falls under relationship category. Okay? So let's assume, but first, before you start writing a book, you have to go to that AI, the AI tool. You can ask the AI to generate, let's say you want to write a book on relationship, for instance. You can go to your AI tool, any of them, and ask the AI to generate maybe 5 or 2 or 3, as the case may be. You can ask the AI, generate 5 topics or 5 book titles that fall under relationship category or relationship niche. Niche is spelled Niche. You can ask the AI, generate 5 book titles that fall under relationship niche or relationship category. It will generate it for you. Once you ask this question, you click enter, it will write it for you. Then, once you see that it has listed it for you, the next thing you will do is you copy it and go and paste somewhere. Maybe your WPS, you must have WPS. You must also have Google Docs. You can always download these apps from the Play Store. Okay? So when you copy this and paste it somewhere, the next thing you want to do now is to now run that keyword phrase search that I made mention earlier to ascertain whether or not to write on that book, that particular title. If the search volume is too much, I've already explained that you can rephrase that your book title. Let's say, for instance, that the first topic there or the first title there says dealing with uh, dealing with a wicked partner. Let me just use that word. Dealing with a wicked partner. If you impute dealing with a wicked partner and you discover that the search volume is too high, you can rephrase it. You can say handling a wicked partner, managing a wicked. You can just rephrase it to anything. Why you are doing that is that you want to shake the search volume via the results it will show you. So that once the result is giving you what you want, you can now say, I've chosen this particular title. Now you can go and write on that particular title. You don't just say, I want to write on this title. You start writing without conducting any research. All right. So moving forward, let's say I have concluded on a particular title. Okay? Let's say I have concluded on a particular title and I now want to write. I wrote something here. Let me use this one. I'm just trying to give an example. I wrote something here. I said relationship prompt. Okay. Now I want to copy this. Let me copy it. Copy. Because this is what I want to use as a clear example here. So I will go, I will come here. This is one of the AI tools. Let me use this poll cloud instant. I'll click on it. Let me allow it to open. So I want to write, I'm coming. Let me remove all of this. Okay, I've written it somewhere before. That's why it's appearing like this. So now the title of this my book, I've concluded on the title. The title is Dealing with a Toxic Partner. So let's say that this is my title, Dealing with a Toxic Partner. I will come to this AI and I will write this. As a professional writer, as a professional writer, this is a prompt. You can also say in your own, as an expert writing coach. That could be your own. As an expert writing coach. You can also say as a professional or as an expert relationship officer. Okay? Or as a professional relationship person. You don't want the AI to write a book as AI. You want it to write a book as a professional. Or you can say as a professional writer or as an expert writing coach. Okay? Or as a relationship expert. As a relationship expert. Because you're right, this thing has to do with relationship. As a relationship expert, as a professional writer, as an expert writing coach, you can choose any. I now said, but I'm using as a professional writer here because I can't use more than one. I said, as a professional writer, write me an outline with 15 chapters. Your own must not be 15 chapters. I said, this is just an illustration. Your own can be 10 chapters. Your own can be 20 chapters. Your own can be 50. It depends on you. I'm just using this to give an explanation. I said, as a professional writer, write me an outline with 15 chapters on a book titled Dealing with a Toxic Partner. Are you seeing it now? This is called a prompt. We call this thing a prompt or a command. So I've written, as a professional writer, write me an outline with 15 chapters on a book titled Dealing with a Toxic Partner. I've sent a prompt now. Then I will click here, this arrow button here. I'll click on it and allow it to write. It will start generating. You see it now? So I'll just be waiting. Okay, it has generated. You can see this is the 15th chapter, chapter 15. It says, Achieving Closure and Staying Toxic Free. So it has generated 15 chapters for me. So once this is done, what do I do next? You just hold your phone. Any space you see here, you can see what I'm doing. You just hold your phone. Then you will see something like this, like, dislike, copy, and blah, 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 blah. I want to copy. That's what I want to do. So where do you hold your phone? Just look at this place written, here is a 15 chapter outline for a book dealing with a toxic partner. Just beside it, I can just hold my phone like this. Just hold your phone as if you are pressing the phone. These things will appear. I will now say copy. Say message copied. Once it's copied, I will now go to somewhere. Let's say my Google Docs. You go to Google Docs. This is Google Docs. Okay? This is Google Docs. So you click here at the lower part of your phone. You see something like a plus button. Click on it. If you click on that plus button at the down part of your phone, you will now click New Document. You select New Document. Once you select New Document, you now paste everything here. You click here, it will paste. So this is where I have my outline. Okay? This is the outline. Okay? So once you have this here now, this will now guide you to continue. It says, here is a 15 chapter outline for a book dealing with the toxic partner. You see this place that looks like the marked good at the top left of your phone. You click that place. it's saying untitled document. You can give the document a title. I can now call it just dealing. I can just say outline on dealing with a toxic partner. It's just an outline. Outline on dealing with a toxic partner. I can now say, okay, I've given it a title. It was an untitled document before, but I've given it a title. Okay, so having done this, you can now work with this. Okay, so that is it. But you are not done. What do you do next? You now want to, with this outline, generate a book. Because this is not what people will be reading now. This is just an outline. Now, look at chapter 1. Chapter 1 says, recognizing a toxic relationship. Now, what will I do? I will now copy it. This is the only time. Because it said, this chapter will define what constitutes a toxic relationship and give clear warning. So, I don't need all of that. So, I will just copy recognizing a toxic relationship. That's the only thing I will just highlight. I will copy it. Okay? I will copy it. Once I copy it, I will come back. I will go back to that AI again. I'll click on it. Remember, I copied something. So let me just paste it here. I don't want it to start writing anything. Sometimes once you paste it, you start writing. But just paste it. Make sure, even if you start writing, just, this is what I want. Because I will still add something here. Recognizing a toxic partner. Now, even though it has started writing something before, I will just ignore that one. I will repaste it here because I want to add something there. I'll still bring the cursor in front of this place. I can now say okay, let me just say as a relationship expert, okay, as a relationship expert, comma, I will now say explain in, sometimes you can say explain in details, but I want to be specific. I can say explain in 10,000 words. In 10,000, you can say explain in 12,000 words. You can say explain in 5,000 words. You can say explain in 1,000 words, however you want. Okay? So I can say explain in 10,000 words. Okay? Okay, 10,000 words. Then I will now say semicolon here. Explain in 10,000 words. Recognizing a toxic relationship. I will now say enter. It will now start writing. Okay? So here is a 10,000 word essay on recognizing a toxic relationship. It's still writing. That's why you are seeing stop. The moment you stop, this stop vanishes. The moment it vanishes, it means that it is done. But you can still see stop. Let me just wait. It's still writing. Okay, it has vanished. Now, okay, all right. Let me just get to where it ends. I'm still going. Okay, okay. So now this is another thing you must take note of. If you read under marginalized demographics, okay, now you will see the last statement here. It says community support through groups empowering such. You will agree with me that this statement is incomplete. Community support through groups empowering such. It means that it still has something to say. Are you following? It's an incomplete statement. So you will still copy this one first. Remember the prompt I wrote here. The prompt I wrote here is, I said, let me get the prompt again. Okay. Okay, here are some signs that can help recognize toxic relationship. Okay. So the next thing you want to do here now is you still copy. Okay, look at what I was actually looking for. As a relationship expert, explain in 10,000 words recognizing a toxic relationship. That was the prompt that generated this for me. So I will still come, just like I did before. Beside this, here is a 10,000 word essay on recognizing a toxic relationship. Beside it, I'll just hold the phone like this. I say copy. I will copy it. I will copy it. Okay? All right. Once I copy it, I will go back to my Google Docs. I'm going back to Google Docs. Okay. Remember that this topic, chapter 1, is recognizing a toxic relationship. So what I will just do is to go back, click on this plus button again, click on new document. Once I click on new document, I will just type here chapter 1, under it, recognizing a toxic partner. I will click to enter, then I will paste that thing I copied. So this is now my chapter 1. I'm just trying to make this as simplified as possible. Okay? Now, this is chapter 1, recognizing a toxic partner. Okay? Let me just confirm something. Let me go back. Outline. Let me just confirm something. Okay? Okay, recognizing a toxic relationship. That's the title. Recognizing a toxic relationship. Recognizing. So once you are clicking this and it wouldn't bring out the keyboard, click on this place. Click here, this thing that looks like pencil. This one. This one I'm showing you down here. Click on it. Once you click on it, it will now bring out your keyboard for you to continue doing what you are doing. Recognizing a toxic relationship. All right. So now, chapter 1, recognizing a toxic relationship. I will just remove all of this. Here is a 10,000. I don't need this here. I'll delete it. Now, introduction. I can just remove even this introduction here. You will still write the introduction of this book. Oh. You will still write the introduction. You can still use AI and tell the AI to generate. You can still ask the AI as a professional writer or as an expert writing coach or as an expert relationship officer or as a professional relationship personnel. Anything. Just around these things I'm saying, just pick one. Now, chapter 1, recognizing a toxic relationship. Okay? Now, this is the chapter 1. Okay? Are you following? But remember, if you read this, you will agree with me that this statement is incomplete. Remember, community support through groups empowering such what? It's an incomplete statement. Now, what do? I can now go back to that AI. Let me check. It stops somewhere here. Okay. Now, you go back to the box. It says talk to cloud instant. Click inside that box and say, you can just type something like this. Continue exactly from where you stopped in your, okay, let's say, continue exactly from where you stopped in the previous explanation. In the previous explanation. Continue exactly from where you stopped in the previous explanation. Enter, click the, okay. So I'm waiting. Now, this one stopped here. Community support through groups empowering such. Okay. Now, it says marginalized demography continued. Groups facing societal oppression like this. So there are times it may not continue exactly from this after empowering such this. But now you can see that if I should read community support through groups empowering such, that's the previous one. Okay? So see what you can do here. You can read this, internalize, I'm reading from here. Internalize prejudices taught by society to devalue oneself due to such attributes also foster codependency. Okay. Now, what do I do now? I can stop here. Now, delete. You can delete. That's when you get to my or Google Docs. You can delete community support through groups, empowering such. You can delete that one. Then you can now continue from. Let me copy so that I will explain further. Let me copy this one. Let me copy this one. Copy. Hope I've copied it. Did I copy it right? Copy. Let me be sure. Okay. Now I will go back to that place again. Where did it stop? Okay. Let me enter two times. Now let me even go down a bit so that I can separate the two. Now you scroll. So what do I want to do now? It says continuing from where I left off. This is what I'm reading. This is what I'm reading. This is what I'm reading. Continuing from where I left off in the previous explanation. Just delete this. You don't need this. Delete it. Okay. I also delete this. I will also delete this. Okay. All right. Now I can say community support through groups empowering such. I can delete this too. I can just delete this. If I'm the one writing, this is what I will do. If this is my book, this is the way I will go about it. So that's why I'm explaining it in this way. So now I will bring this one up a little bit. I'll bring it up. You should know how to do this ones now. So internalized prejudices taught by society. This is what I'm reading. I'm reading from here. Reading from here. Internalized prejudices taught by society to devalue oneself due to social attribute also foster codependency. Okay. Now, under paragraph, groups facing societal oppression like ethnic, religious minorities, blah 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 blah. So it has continued. You see how I joined the two now and deleted the things that are not needed. Okay. Now, this is conclusion. Always read the end part of what you generated from the AI to be sure that it's ended well. If it stops somewhere, okay? Because if I'm reading this thing, now let's say I'm reading this thing from, where do I start now? Let me say I'm reading from here, from here now. With education on these topics, continuing advocacy and using difficult experiences to help, okay, and using difficult experiences, to help others avoid similar harms. Society progresses in supporting healthy relationship founded upon, let's say it stopped at founded upon, and there's nothing like mutual care, trust, and personal. I will know that this statement did not end well. Are you seeing it now? So I can now tell it to continue from where I stopped, just as I did earlier. Okay? So just take note. I'm taking my time to explain this thing in detail so that you will not do the wrong thing. So this is it. Are you following? So this is chapter 1. Now I can give it a title here, from here, at the top left. You click on this, click on title document. I can just say um, toxic. Let me just say toxic relationship. Let me just give it toxic relationship. Toxic relationship. Or let me say toxic relationship manuscript, for instance. Manuscript. Anything. Let me just say toxic relationship manuscript. But that manuscript is not part of it, or it's not part of my title. I just want to save it like this for now. Okay? So this same process, you will still go back here, click to go back on your outline. Remember your outline. I'll click on that outline again. This is my chapter 2. Understanding the dynamics of toxicity. Okay? Understanding the dynamics of toxicity. I will copy it just the way I did before now. Okay? If I copy it, I will come back. Okay? I will go to my AI here again. I know that if I paste it now, it may start writing. Let me paste. Okay, it didn't write anything. Now, I will bring this cursor in front of this place. I will now say, as an as a relationship expert, comma, explain in, I can say another 10,000 words, just the same way I did before. As a relationship expert, explain in 10,000 words, say semicolon, understanding the dynamics of toxicity. As a relationship expert, explain in 10,000 words, understanding the dynamics of toxicity. I click here. I now wait. It's now generating. So the topic of this chapter 2 is understanding the dynamics of toxicity. So it's still writing. You can see stop. It simply shows that the AI is still generating content. Just wait. Just as we did before. Same. Okay. Now, let me read the last thing I have here. It says, I'm reading from here. The most damaged relationships stand a chance of healing through healthy cooperation between caring people. You can see that this statement ended well. So I can leave it there. Now I will come back. Just the same process, the same thing I did before. I'm just repeating what I did before, just that this is chapter 2. Okay. I will now come here. I have here is a 9,999 words. You asked for 10,000, but it's no problem at all. So just click by side of it. Where am I clicking? Let me show you. I'm just clicking any space here. You can see the statement here says, here is a 9,999 words essay on understanding the dynamics of toxicity in relationship. After that, in relationship, you can see a column. Beside it, there is an empty space there. I can just hold my finger there. Now, I will click on copy. If I click on copy, I'll go back to the AI again. So when I come back here, I'll go back. This is not where I want to paste it. Now, I want to paste it here on this toxic relationship manuscript. I'll click on it to open where I have chapter 1. Okay. I'll come down, click here. Okay. Like I said, if this is not bringing out your, if you are clicking on the screen and you are not seeing your keyboard, click here. Click on this icon that looks like a pen. Click on it. It will now give you access to continue. Then enter, enter, enter. I can do this in like 3 times or 4 times. Then I can write chapter. I'm trying to write chapter 2. Okay, chapter 2. Let me come down. Okay, this is my chapter 2. What does chapter 2 say? I've not written the title of that chapter 2. Chapter 2 says the dynamics of toxicity in relationship. What do? I copy it. Once I copy it, I'll put it under this place. Okay? I want it to be in bold letters. I will also make everything there bold. Okay, what I mean rather is capital letters, block letters. Now, here is, I don't need this. Here is whatever. I don't need it again. I delete it. Okay? I can bring this one up a bit. So, but I will still do the proper formatting another place, still with this Google Docs. So, you can see what we are doing here now. So that's why I said you can create a book. We are creating a book. We are not the one writing this from your head, but you are generating prompt that will now help the AI to write the book for you. So if you don't know how to write a good prompt, AI cannot generate a proper content for you. Okay, so you do this for chapter 3, exactly the same thing. If I'm to write chapter 3 now, what do? Just the same process. I come back here, I copy. Let me remember this chapter 2 again. It says understanding the dynamics of toxicity. Okay. I hope that's what I wrote here. Understanding. Understanding. Let me be sure. Okay. Understanding. Let me copy it. Sorry. Understanding. Understanding the dynamics of, okay, let me copy it. So that's understanding. I'll come back here. Understanding. That's what I should have here. That's my chapter 2 heading. Where's that chapter 2? Okay. Understanding. You see, you're now developing your book now. It's not something you do in a hurry. Okay. Chapter 2. Where are you? It's like I'm very fast. Okay. So what I will do is to delete this. I want to be sure of. Okay, let me paste what I actually, okay, understanding the dynamics of toxicity. So I can make everything here in capital letter. Okay. I'm coming just understanding the dynamics. Okay. All right. So do the same thing for your chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, till you get the number of chapters you want. Remember, any book you are creating that you want to publish on Amazon, I always advise it shouldn't be less than, I tell people, your book shouldn't be less than 30 pages. Okay? Ensure it's between 25 and 30 pages. So follow the same process for chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4 till you get to where you want to stop. Your book must not be chapter 10. Your own can be chapter 1 to 7, it can be chapter 1 to 10, it can be chapter 1 to whatever. Okay? So I don't want to continue with chapter 3, chapter, because it's still the same thing I'll be doing. Okay? Now that I'm done with this, what next do I need to do? So let me just assume that the book is complete. Now, in Amazon, you don't want to just publish your book like this. What next do I have to do? I want to paraphrase. This is a very important area. I want to paraphrase. I want to paraphrase both chapter 1, chapter 2, till the last chapter. So what you will do, you need to paraphrase it. I will start here now. I will copy from this. All relationships require. I'll copy from here. Okay. Okay. All relationships require. I will copy. I want to copy to the end. I will copy. I'm still highlighting. Oh, I'm still highlighting. So you need a paraphrasing tool to do this. The paraphrasing tool is called QBot. QBot. But you need the premium version. If you don't use the premium version of QBot, you won't paraphrase too many words at a time. Okay? You will not paraphrase too many words at a time. But with QBot Premium, you can do that. Okay? Let's continue till we get to. I'm still highlighting. Okay. Okay. Let me continue. Okay. Even if, let me see where this is actually, and so that I will know what I'm doing. Okay. So let's say there's another way you can actually do this. But let me just do it this way so that you don't get confused. Okay. Remember, I stopped at below visible surface behavior. That's the last thing here. Dynamics below visible surface behavior. I can just do copy for now. I can just do copy for now. Then I will stop here. Then I'll go to that my keyboard premium. I already have everything here. This is my keyboard premium. You should have your own. This is my keyboard premium. Let me go to my keyboard premium. This is it. I'll click on it. That's why I always advise people to add all these things at home screen so that it will be acting as though they are applications. So this is my keyboard premium. This is it. So once I get to this place, you can see a write up here. It says to write text, enter or paste, whatever. I will paste that and I just copy it now. I'll paste it here. Okay, I have done that. After doing that, then you will see paraphrase. You can see paraphrase at the lower part of your phone. I will click paraphrase. I've clicked paraphrase. I want it to paraphrase. So, okay, it's not really paraphrasing. Let me log out and log in again. Let me log out. Let me log out. How do I log out? I'll click here. This is my account. Once I click at the top right here, there's something like a picture here. That's my picture anyway. Then I will click log out. That's if it's not paraphrasing. No, sometimes it can act like that. I will log out. Let me just log out first. Let me log out. Then let me still log in again. Let me log in again. Just wait. I'm waiting for network to respond. What we are trying to do is to paraphrase so that you don't publish 100% AI generated content. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. Just exercise a little patience. I want you to see how the paraphrasing is done. I don't want to skip this place and continue. I don't want that. Let me just log out again. Log out. Okay. Let me log out. I've done that. You can see now that I've logged out, it's showing me Qbot, no longer Qbot Premium. It's showing me only Qbot. Okay. So let me log in again. Let me log in again. I'll click here. Then want to log in again. Let me continue with my Gmail anyway so that I don't start all over again. Okay, let me just impute my details. I'm trying to log in again. The reason I'm doing this is because the thing did not log in. It did not paraphrase rather. That's why I'm doing this. So I guess it's due to network fluctuation or something. So that's why it's delaying like this. It can happen. Because normally it should paraphrase by the side. Then it is now the paraphrased version that you use to replace that other one. I just want everything to be very clear here. So what I'm battling with now is network. That's what I'm battling with now. Just wait. Let's see. Okay. Let me just open a new tab. Go back to the keyboard. Okay. Let me paste it here. Let me paste that and I copied earlier. Here. Okay. Let me paraphrase and see if it will show me the paraphrasing version. Okay. Now, it has paraphrased. Already, it's still paraphrasing. That's it by the side. You can see it here. Just wait. If you look at the lower part of your phone, you will see something like a circle recycling around because it's still working. The paraphrasing is still going on. You just have to wait until it's done. You just have to wait. Once it's done, you will see rephrase. That's the next thing you will see there. Once it's done, the next thing you will see there is rephrase. I'm just waiting for it. It's paraphrasing. It's remaining small. It will soon be done. So 64, 65, 66 to 70. Okay. We're almost there. All right. You can see rephrase. Now, everything by the left has been paraphrased here at the right hand side. Now you can see some of these words here in should I call this, what color should I call this now? Now, you can change any of them. Let me show you an example of what I mean now. Let me show you an example of what I mean. Now, it starts with work, comma, compromise, comma, and the mutual understanding. This mutual, if you click on it, like this, just like this, you can see suggestions. You can replace that mutual with collaboration, cooperation, shared comprehension, mutual comprehension, compassion, trust, compatibility, and what have you. If you don't want that, you can leave it. So it allows you to even paraphrase all these words, but do well to read through. So let's say I'm okay with the paraphrase version. I will now look for anywhere around this place. Hold the phone like this. Do select all. If I do select all, I will click on cut or copy. Now that I've done this, I will go back to this place where I actually copied it from. Now you can see it's already showing me work, comma, so that thing I copied before. Your own must not be like this. But once you copy or cut from that your keyboard, you paste it here. You can actually hold the surface of your phone to paste it. Okay? So, or you can cut. Initially I did copy here. I copied from here. I pasted in my keyboard. It paraphrased it. I copied the paraphrased version. I want to replace it here. Okay? So, what I will now do is that I can actually replace everything that I copy, even though it's no longer highlighted. Okay, so let's say I copied from here. I can't actually remember where I copied, the point I copied to. Okay, so but what I will advise is that you can cut. Once you highlight, you can cut. We have copy, we have cut. You can cut, paste in your keyboard. It will paraphrase. Now highlight that paraphrase version, cut, then come back here and paste. Are you following? So you can do it that way. So let's say I have pasted it here now. I'm now working with the paraphrased version, no longer the original version, so that you will not be found guilty of maybe plagiarism or whatever it is. So let me assume I have pasted it here now. Okay? Let me assume I have pasted it here. Once you paste it here, it has replaced the former version. Okay? So I'm just laying emphasis on the need to paraphrase. So let's assume I have now pasted it here now. I have pasted it here. Okay? Now, what next do you do? You still paraphrase all your work. Chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, till the end. You paraphrase. Okay? So, let me assume I'm done with paraphrasing. I've already shown you how to paraphrase. I should keep going. This video will be very long. So, let's assume I'm done paraphrasing now. What next should I do? Now, I will tell you what to do. Save. Let me save my work. I've saved my work. Then I will go back. Let me just go back. Then click on this plus button. Click on this plus button again. Click on new document. Let me do that again. Click on new document. It will open on title document. This is a fresh page. Click here at the top right of your phone. This place you see three dots. Click on those three dots. It will open like this. Now you click on page setup. Click on page setup. Once you click on page setup, the next thing you will do is click on paper size. Okay. Click on paper size, then select this A5. This one I'm showing you here. This is what I'm talking about. Click on A5. Go back. Go back. Then the next thing you will do is this. Click here. This icon that looks like A. A. You click on it. Then the next thing you want to do is that you click on font. This is font, font, font. Click by the side of it. Select the font you want to use. You can select Georgia. You can select whatever, what again? Times New Roman. Let's say I want to work with Georgia, for instance. Or let me say I want to work with Times New Roman. I select it, Times New Roman. Okay. Click outside for it to vanish. Then you can still click on this same place again. Click on it again. Then size. Click here to is showing 11. You click here for it to increase 12, 13, 14. So I want to work with 14. Click. Then I can click here. That's save icon. That marks good. I'll click there. Now it's telling me untitled document. I'll click inside that place to give it another title. This is now my work. Okay. Now, this is where I will now do my proper formatting. What's the title of this book? Is it dealing with toxic relationship? Dealing with toxic relationship. Dealing with toxic relationship. Okay. All right. So let me check something before I come back here. Okay. Dealing with toxic relationship. Okay. So this is. So now this is where you do your proper formatting. What should be the first thing here? The title of this book. Remember, I said if you click on the surface of your phone and it's not showing you anything, click here for your keyboard to come out. Now I will write the title of this book here: Dealing with Toxic Relationship. If your book, if there is a subtitle to your book, I don't have a subtitle here. Okay, let's say that the subtitle of this book is how to manage uh, how to manage what do I put now? How to manage an unhealthy partner. Or let me say managing unhealthy partner. Managing, okay, managing and let me not use the word unhealthy. Let me say managing a, a toxic partner. A toxic partner. But for this my book, I don't have a subtitle. I'm just trying to generate a subtitle. You see it now. So this can be my subtitle, but I don't want a subtitle. Your book may have a subtitle, but it's not compulsory. It's not compulsory. So this is the title, this is the subtitle: Dealing with a Toxic Relationship, Managing a Toxic Partner. So, but for this my book, it doesn't have. Your book must not have. So I write my topic here. So what's the name of the author? Your name can be the author or a pen name. We can use a pen name as the author. So I'll just come down a little bit. Let's say that let's say that your name, you want to use your real name as the author. Let's say the name is Timothy, 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 Timothy John. Let's say this is the name. Okay? Enter. Now, what's the next thing? The next thing you will put here is that, let me save this. Now, let me use a book that I have here to give you a clear example of how this thing will be. So you can see this, my book, has title and subtitle, because I talked about title and subtitle, but all my books, not all my books have title and subtitle, not all of them. So this is Juvenile Financial Mastery Guide. Now, the top title says, Exposing Your Children to Basic Financial Knowledge. There are some of my books that do not have subtitle. This is the author name. Now, the next thing you want to do is copyright. The copyright remains the same. This copyright remains the same. Your own will also be like this, but I will show you the difference now. Copy. This is the copyright. Okay, where's that my book? Dealing with. Okay, now I'll click here again. So I'll come down like 2 times. This is the copyright. All rights reserved, no part of this publication. So your own is still the same. The only difference between my own and your own now is that this place written Elisham Afem. I will remove it. Your name is not Elisham Afem. It's still the same name you have here. Timothy Jones. Timothy Jones. Copy. Timothy Jones will still be here. Comment. Okay. Timothy Jones will still be here. Timothy Jones. Okay. We are no longer in 2023. So this is now 2024. That's the only difference. The only thing you change here is the name and the year of publication. I don't know if you're following. Okay. You save it. So I'm just using that my other book to show you how it will look like. Now the next thing you see here is after title, subtitle, if you have subtitle, the name of the author, copyright. The next thing is table of content. Table of content. Okay? After your table of content, I'm just using this to show you an example of how your own will look like. Table of content. The first thing here is introduction. After introduction, chapter 1. You write chapter 1. Under chapter 1, what's the title of that chapter 1? Okay? You give a space. Just make sure it is arranged in this one. I'm just using this one to show you an example. Let me come up again. The title, the subtitle, if you have any, the name of the author. You see how my own is arranged? Copyright. Ensure your name is here. The year of publication. Then I will still show you how to do this page break. You are seeing all this page break. You are seeing. I will still show you how it's done. The next thing is table of content. Introduction, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. This book has only chapter 1 to 7. Your own may be 1 to 10, 1 to 15, 1 to whatever. Okay? Chapter 7. Now, that's introduction. Remember, we have introduction here. So, now, introduction. You now write your introduction. This is chapter 1. Everything that has to do with chapter 1. Okay? Everything that has to do with chapter 1. After that, page break, chapter 2. Everything that has to do with chapter 2. Chapter 3. Till the end. Okay? Till the end. So, now that I have this, what I will do next, I have the copyright, table of content. Table of content. Let me just copy it since I'm already here. Table of content. Dealing with it. Okay? Table of content. Okay? Table of content. This is my table of content. Introduction. I come down. Chapter 1. Chapter 1. Okay. What's the title of my chapter 1? You write it. Just as we have here, what's the title of that my chapter 1? Let me even get it. Okay. Chapter 1 says, recognizing a toxic relationship. That's my chapter 1. That's my chapter 1. Okay. Okay. Let me. Okay. That's my chapter 1. Once you follow this video, you'll be okay. It's chapter 1. But I don't want it to be in capital letter all through. I just want it to be like this. Okay. Is it recognizing a toxic relationship? So I'll come back here. Chapter 2. Chapter 2. What is chapter 2? I will write. Let me just get my chapter 2. Chapter 2. What does chapter 2 say? Let me get it. I'm trying to make this thing very simplified. Understanding I think something happened here. Let me get it. Chapter 2. Okay, let me get it from here. Okay. Is it impact on mental health esteem? Okay. Okay. So whatever chapter 2 is, that's what I'm trying to say. Just get the subtitle, or rather the title of chapter 2. Write it here. I don't want this video to be, it's already 56 minutes. Write this, just the same thing you do with chapter 1. Chapter 1 is recognizing a toxic relationship. Chapter 2, what's the subtitle of chapter 2? Or rather, what's the title of chapter 2? Chapter 3 again, just the same thing. Chapter 3, I'm trying to be fast now. Write whatever it is, just as you did with chapter 1. Are you following? Chapter 4, depending on how many chapters you have. Chapter 4, follow the same thing. I'm just trying to be very fast now. Okay? Until you get to the last chapter. Now, after this, what should now come here is introduction. Introduction. You write your introduction. You can still ask the AI tool to generate introduction for you. I've told you how to write a prompt. You can tell it as an expert writing coach, as a professional writer, or as a relationship expert. Write me an introduction for a book titled, or write me an introduction on a book titled, you write the title of the book. Okay? But let me say this. Let me say this now that I remember. If you are trying to write a prompt, let's say you want to write a storybook. Let me say you want to write a storybook. And let me say that the title of that your storybook is, let me say, what do I call it now? The Dancing Elephant. Let me just use anything. The Dancing Elephant. Okay? Okay. Now, you have something in mind for having that kind of title. If you go to AI and say, write me a book titled The Dancing Elephant, AI can, it's a storybook, it's a fiction book. Okay? Or let me use a fiction, a fantasy book, for instance. Fantasy. Let's say The Singing. I have a book titled The Singing Portrait. Of course, a portrait cannot sing. Okay? A portrait cannot sing. Your portrait can, I've never seen a portrait, but it's just a fantasy book. Now, before you can ask AI to generate a book for you like that, you write what we call a synopsis, describing that book. Okay? Let's say that you will tell the AI, a singing portrait is a book that talks about so. You just summarize what that book is talking about, and you now, based on that synopsis, you can now tell the AI, as a professional writer, based on this synopsis, generate a book with maybe 10 chapters, 50 chapters, 100 chapters. Generate me a book titled A Singing Portrait. You've already explained what you want the book to look like. Now, AI will begin to now reason like you. It will now generate that book for you. Okay, so your prompt depends on the title of your book and where the direction you want that book to go. Okay, so we are moving forward now. Introduction. Let's continue. Introduction. Then the next thing is chapter one. Chapter one. Now this is my chapter one. Remember, this is just table of content, but now I'm talking about the body of chapter one. Now this is chapter one. I'll copy this chapter one, paste it here. Now everything, I want everything to now be in capital. Okay, like this. Then chapter two. Chapter two. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. Of course, when I say chapter one, yeah, I will come down. Where is my chapter one? I will go back. Where is that my chapter one? Where is my chapter one? This is chapter one. But there's something I want to do. I don't want this chapter two to interfere. I don't want this chapter two to interfere. So in doing your own, you can be split. Okay, let me do it this way. Let me do it this way. I can say copy all. Okay? I can say copy all. Everything from chapter 1 to wherever I can now say select all. Okay? Copy. I've selected all anyway. Copy. I've copied everything. Now I'll come back here. Let me do it this way. I'll come back here. Okay? Where's my chapter 1? Okay, this is chapter 1. Sorry. This is chapter 1. This is chapter 1. Then I will paste that and I copied here. Now you will see what I will do with it now. I'll paste it here. I've already done that. Let me go up. Let me go up. Don't worry. There is no confusion. Let me. Okay. This is chapter 1. Want to get to where it all started. Okay. Now this is chapter 1. I already have chapter 1 here, so I can just delete this second one. Recognize network. Delete it. So this is now my chapter 1. You see it now. So let me go back. Where's chapter 2? I'm trying to find chapter 2. Okay, this is chapter 2. Okay? It's chapter 2. Now, this one, just remove this. Just remove this. Okay. So it continues like that. Follow this principle to wherever the book ends. Chapter 10, chapter whatever. So now what next do I do? I'm trying to be very super fast now. Now, this is my title. This is the author. Now I will click here in front of this. Okay, here in front of this copyright. Then you will click on this plus button, click on this plus button. Once you click on the plus button, you will click page break. You see page break. Are you following? Page break. So that the topic, or rather the title, the subtitle, if you have any, and the author name will be separate. Then this is copyright. Then I will place my cursor here again, click on plus button. What next? Another page break. Table of contents will be on its own. Okay. Then I'll place my cursor here in front of introduction. Click here. Page break. Are you following? Introduction will be on its own. I'll place my cursor here again on chapter 1. Click here. Page break. Okay, after chapter 1, there's chapter 2. The same thing. You keep doing it. You're separating everything. Okay. That is chapter 2. Yeah, it's chapter 2. Chapter 2. Chapter 2. Chapter 2. This is chapter 2. Click here. Page break. Okay. Now, let me just start from this. So you will continue to the last chapter. That's what I mean. Now, I will now highlight this. Highlight it. Okay. Click here. 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 I'll click here. I'll click center. Once I click center, I'll click here for it to, sorry. I'll click. I mean, so in front of this toxicity, I'll click here for it to step down a bit. Now, this is page break, but this is very close to it. I can now place my cursor in front of this chapter 2, come down a bit. I don't want it to be very close to this. Come down a bit. You see the way it is now. So what I will now do is this chapter 2, I can now highlight it, make it bold. You see it's now bold now. It's bold. So why you read your book or before you publish any book, I know this thing is not complete, understanding the whatever, but you understand where I'm coming from. Ensure that this chapter 2, of course you will write the title of that chapter 2. Okay. So you will read your book before you publish. Now, as you are going through your book, some of your write-up should be in capital letter. Now, for instance, what is toxic relationship? I can make this in bold. Okay? Now, this is why do toxic patterns emerge? So as you're reading, you should know this is just like somebody writing a project. You should know the ones to make capital letter or bold, I mean. So as you are reading through your book, this is what we now call formatting. So these ones, I can say this one, attachment issue, I can make it. Now, let me go back to that my former book and explain something to you. Juvenile Financial Mastery Guide. Now, if you look at this book now, if you look at this book, you will see that some are bold. I will still show you the reason why I made these things like this. You can see the chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. You see the color. Why I made it like this, that if somebody wants to read my chapter 4 without reading chapter 1 or chapter, once the person clicks on this chapter 3, it will take the person to chapter 3 immediately. But I will show you how I did it. So, in formatting your book, you will make your book look presentable. You will know the things to make bold. You will know the things to make italics, as the case may be. So I'm just showing you my own. Let me go back and make this thing. I'm coming. I want to do something. Um, Settings. See, let me make it light. Light. Okay. All right. So let's come back. Let me make it light. Good. So you can see this table of content is bold. Introduction is bold. While learning about money, this one is not bold. So you can see introduction, this one is bold, others are not bold. So you should know the things to make bold. All of them will not be in the same format. Now look at this. Financial literacy is bold, others are not bold. So while arranging your book, you should now make it presentable, just as you see in other people's books, physical books. Okay? You know the ones to highlight, make them bold. That's what I'm trying to explain here. You can see chapter 2, the value of money is bold. These ones are bold, but these ones are not. So these things are part of formatting. You know when to paraphrase, or rather when to enter another paragraph. It continues like that. This lack of financial security, some of them are bold. Not everything is bold. So it's part of the formatting that we are talking about here. Okay, so let's go back to our book. Now, dealing with toxic relationship, I will now highlight it. Of course, it should be bold. It should be bold. I will make it bold. Then click here. Make it, it will be at the center. This one should also be at the center. I will also make it bold. Not only that, I'll bring it down a little bit, something like this. Okay. Copyright. I will make it bold. I will center it. So I think it's very close to this page break. I can bring it down a little bit. Okay. I can even put this like this. Okay. So that it will look presentable. Now, table of content, it should be bold. Okay. Introduction, it should be bold. You can also center this like this. Make it, place it at the center. Chapter 1, it should be bold. Chapter 2, it should be bold. I want to believe you understand where I'm coming from. So it continues like that. Once you get to this place now, this is chapter 1. Introduction should be bold. Introduction should be bold. Then the introduction, the body of the introduction, you will write it. There should be a write-up here. I hope you know. You remember. There should be a write-up here where you are doing the introduction. You will write it here. Now, this is chapter 1 and everything here. Center it. Bold. You can still come down a little bit like this. Like this. Okay. You continue. As you are reading, you should now know the things to make bold. Up till the last chapter. As you are reading. For example, I can come here, gaslighting. I make it bold. You understand where I'm coming from? So that's where reasoning comes in. Now that I'm done with this, what next do I know to do? Now, if I want to, I can come to this chapter 1 now. Okay? Highlight this chapter 1 like this. Click on this plus button. Okay? Or rather, let's do it this way. Highlight it, click on this icon here, this A icon. Click on it. Then you will see style. Style, this is style. The first one. It says normal text. Click on it. Click on heading 1. Heading 1. Heading 1. It has changed. Heading 1. Okay? Then come to chapter 2 again. You do this for all the chapters. Come to chapter 2. Do the same thing. Do the same thing for chapter 2. Do the same thing for chapter 2. Highlight. Highlight it this way. Come here. Normal. You can still say heading 1. Just so do it for all the chapters. Are you following? Now, once you are done with that, you can come here. You can come here. Then this is chapter 1. I'm talking on the table of content now. This is chapter 1, but this is not compulsory. You must not do this. This is chapter 1. I can now come here, this plus button. I click on link. Once I click on link, I click on headings. I click on chapter 1. I click here, this icon here at the top. It has changed. So that if somebody wants to read, okay, I can still do the same thing for chapter 2, chapter 3. I'll do the same thing here. Click on this plus button. Click on link. Click on headings. Click on chapter 2. Good. Chapter 2. So that if you still do the same thing for chapter 3, highlight here, link, headings, chapter 3. Okay, I'm just showing you. That's what you keep doing to the end of the book. But it's not compulsory. You must not do it. But if you want to do it that way, you can still do it that way. So that if somebody wants to read this book now, the person can just click chapter 2 and go straight to chapter 2. If the person is reading the Kindle version of it. So once you are done with all of this, you are sure that your book is okay. You will read your book. Before you publish your book, you must read the book you're publishing, of course. Correct. If there are some grammatical errors here and there, you can correct it. So let's assume you are done formatting your book. Table of content. Let me come down a little bit. It's like it's too close to this page. Now, let's say you are done formatting, editing, doing everything. Your book is ready. You want to save it. Now you can save your book as ebook or as paperback. So when you save your book as ebook, it will not be printed out. But if you save it as paperback, if someone wants to buy your book as paperback, Amazon will print it out on your behalf. You're only paying the printing cost. You're not paying any extra money. But that particular amount, let's say that your paperback, the price you fix for your paperback is $9.99. That's the price you fix there for your book. And the printing cost is $2.99. That $2.99 will be deducted from that your $9.99. Are you following? But for your ebook will not be printed out. So let's say you are done now. You are done. And you want to save this book as ebook. You click here. You click here. Okay? Once you click here, you click on share and export. You click on share and export. You click on save as. This is ebook. You click on web page. Web page. Web page for your ebook. You click OK. You allow it. I know it's a very long video, but it's important. You allow it. So Once you do it this way, then you click here, this download icon here, this download icon, you click on this download icon. Okay. So once I do this, I click download, starting download. Let me just wait. Okay, downloaded successfully. I'm just waiting for something. So it has downloaded as ebook, as ebook. Okay. So let me shake my WPS. If it's not here, then I'll shake it some other place. Just follow this guide. Make sure you download WPS. Make sure you also download Google Docs. You'll be using the two. You'll be using the two. Very, very important. This is just unnecessary ads that these people are bringing up here. Let me remove it. Okay. Okay, let me look for it here. My Chrome browser. Downloads. Okay. Okay. Let me. So, but the best approach to this, if you don't want to get confused, once it shows you that it has downloaded, click on it so that it will open immediately. Let me do it again so that you understand what I've just said now. Let me do it again. So this is where we stopped and we clicked download. Let me now if I click download, it will start downloading here. Now tap to view. Tap to view. You see it. I wanted to do it another way, but let me use this now. Now, once you are done, tap to view, you will see it there. Then this is it. That's the first one and the second one anyway. So if I click on this one, it will open. Microsoft Word. Let me open it with this. So this is it. If you click it, will still open. You now see every other thing that you want to see. So this is called the ebook version of your book. The ebook version is a zipped file. Let me go to my my WPS. It's a zipped file. Okay, it's a zipped file. But if we want to download them, or if we get to the paperback now, you will see the format we're going to use. I think network is really disturbing me here. That's why this is delaying. Network is disturbing me. So this is it now. Dealing with toxic relationship. So this is it. Just that network can be funny at times. So I've saved it already. Just that network is acting funny here. Okay. So this is it. Dealing with toxic partner. I just wanted it to open. It's just that network is acting somehow. Okay, let's just go back to that same where we started. Okay. Where's the book? This is the book. So I have saved it as ebook. So let me save the same book as, but there is something I omitted anyway. Before you do this, okay? Before you save, after your page break and all of that, still click on this plus button. Click on page number. Click on page number. Click this third one before you even save. So once it's like this, you can see the way it is now. Ensure you add the page number. We omitted it. So come back here. Now do share and export. Save as web page. We omitted the page number. That's why I'm doing it again. Web page. Click OK. Click on this download icon. Download, start downloading. It's downloading. Once it's done, just tap to view. You tap it. So this is it. This first one now. Okay? You can click on it like we did earlier. WPS. Okay? So this is it. Now let me go back. Let me go back. I know this video is long, but it's very important. Let me go back. So now I want to save this book as paperback. As paperback. It's still in this format. So still click here. Click on share and export. Click on save as. Now, remember the first one we clicked on web page, but now we are not going to click on web page. You now click on PDF document. PDF document. You click OK. Click OK. Allow it. This one is PDF. The other one is web page, zipped file. Then download. Download. Start downloading. It's downloading. Tap to view. It's done. So you can see this is PDF. The other one is zip. The same book, different version. This first one is a print version. We call it print version. This second one is Kindle version. So if I click on this, again, it will open. You see the way this one is. If you go to your WPS, you will still see it. Okay? So when you want to publish the book, there's a video on how to publish a book on Amazon, whether as ebook or as paperback. All right, thank you very much.